Hey everyone, have I here been a video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, we're going to be doing our full breakdown with some fun little team builds for the Dokkan Festival exclusive LR GGT. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive right in. And as usual, we're going to start off with the card arts. I'll tell you what, there's not much wrong with it. Both look incredible in the SSR and the TUR. The only nitpick is I wish the Trunks and Gohan wasn't so spaced out in the SSR next to Goku. But again, ultimately, love the aura, love the colors, everything looks great. But it is trumped by the LR and the transformed state because, boy, in animated form, and I should have probably put a little bit of animation in here, they both look incredible, but really that standalone LR with Goku, Trunks, and Gohan is just, background looks great. The aura, everything is just incredible. So kudos to the Worldwide Celebration, and really everything is looking great in terms of card art with all of the new units. So let's go ahead and look at the details and the stats of this unit here. Really strong overall stats. HP is a flat out 24,000, which is rare. You see that it's just a round number. Then you have attack over 20,000, which is always good, and slightly above 14,000 for defense. So just overall incredible all around stats there. When you look at the details, this is a triple double leader skill. I was hoping for a triple just like for the Tech UI Goku, right? Having a triple just helps make a much stronger team, especially with the 200%. If you run the 200%, you're gonna see when I do the team builds, it's lacking an additional 30% category to help out round out the team at full 200%. But all in all out struggle. Super Saiyan's Power of Wishes at 170, and then the 30% boost for 200% is Movie Heroes and Connected Hope. I'm just happy it wasn't another Movie Heroes leader for 170% because we got so many, but it is a really nice boost for these three teams. The 12 key super attack raises attack for 1 turn, causes colossal damage to enemy, and lowers attacks and defense. And this is still very valuable in multiple different fights, even in the end game, where if you can lower attack and defense for certain bosses, it's highly beneficial. So the 18 key super attack does greatly raises attack and defense for 3 turns, so a kind of a mini stack there, and then causes a mega colossal damage to the enemy. And then if you're able to run this in first position, which generally you're not, I'm gonna see that you're probably gonna run this in second position, so the floater is gonna get a nice little boost here, which is nice. If you have a support floater, it's going to benefit from the superclass allies attack and defense 30% for 1 turn. If we ever see 2 turns here, even better, but it's just for 1 turn for that that current turn that you're able to do the 18 key super attack. So passive skill here, this is where it gets really amazing. You have key +3, attack and defense 200%, randomly changes key spheres of a certain type, excluded physical key spheres, 2 physical key spheres, and then +2 to key for physical key spheres obtained, and plus an additional 1 for non-physical key spheres obtained. And then all allies key +3, 50% attack, and that's unconditional. We'll talk about the condition for the defensive boost. Reduces damage by 30% temporarily receiving a super attack, which of course that's always the major issue when you get supered, but it doesn't have much mitigation in terms of normal attacks. It has a little bit, but would have been nice to see this flat out 30%. But because they said, we're going to give you 240% boost, which is this right here, additional defense 30% when receiving an attack for every 3 key that you have. If you're at 24, you're going to get, basically 8 times this is 240,000 or 240%. Feels like 240,000. 240% in terms of an additional defensive boost. Then you get an additional 150% to attack when your key is 12 or more, and that's going to be all the time. Launches 2 attacks with a high chance of becoming a super attack when key is 18 or more, and then effective against all types when key is 24 or more. So really, this is the main thing that you want to make sure you're at 24 key, so you can get all these buffs here. And that's the reason why these orb changes are just absolutely incredible. Now here's where you really have to look at your team builds and who you're going to connect this unit with, because if there is another Movie Heroes or all-out struggle category ally attacking in the same turn, plus an additional 15% damage reduction, which of course that's going to help out. And then here's a huge boost here for 2 turns, right? 2 turns. So the turn that you're in and the turn after you, all allies 77% to defense. That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. So you really have to make sure that this is activated to really highlight this unit and to maximize the benefits of it. So that's why when you're going to see the team builds here, you're really looking out for making sure that this is going to be well connected. This is a standby unit, so standby skill here, enter standby mode. Can be activated when HP is 77% or less, which is nice. So if you get caught there and you're under 77%, you can do this, very quickly. Or if you're not taking any damage at all, and this will then start at the 5th turn from the start of the battle. And then this stands by for 3 turns, you can then increase your charge count. This is where it gets wild, because if you can get enough charge counts, this is literally a true finishing move. And it's going to be a finishing effect when you do the standby, because the amount of damage this unit dishes out with just average charge counts is absolutely crazy. So if you get hit with each attack received, you get 3. Then you get 2 per physical key sphere obtained by allies, and then 1 per key sphere obtained by allies, right? So this is by allies, and then here is if you get attacked. So what you want to do is probably put in, once you stand by, put them in the slot that it's going to get attacked the most, and really start boosting that up. Link skills here: Super Saiyan Golden Warrior, Saiyan Warrior Race, Z Fighters, Prepare for Battle, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. And then it's on not as many categories as I was hoping. I was trying to will the a 17 category unit, but they kept with the, I guess, the normality of having kind of a joint forces combined. You don't have pure Saiyans on here, or hybrid Saiyans, or some of the Goku categories on here. Again, fine, but would have been nice to see a few extra on here. So you have All Out Struggle, Super Saiyans, Power of Wishes, Movie Bosses, Connected Hope, Joint Forces, Kamehameha, Earthbed Fighters, Final Trump Card. The only one that I go, you know what they should have added is Powerful Comeback. Powerful Comeback should have been that's this whole scene, this fight, and then the Miracle Punch. That's like the greatest comeback of all time in Dragon Ball. So anyway, Powerful Comeback is what I would have liked to see on. Anyway, let's go into standby here. So standby, you're not going to be able to attack until your finishing effect, but you're able to do that really very, very quickly. Key +3 attack and defense 250%, guards against all attacks. Changes int key spheres to physical key spheres, and then the same thing, +2 for physical key spheres obtained, +1 for non-physical key sphere obtained. Additional 30% when receiving an attack for every 3 key, and then if 24 key when receiving an attack reduces damage by 59%. So again, you should be at 24 key with this ability here, and then plus an additional 20% for key sphere obtained, and all allies 7% for 2 turns per physical key sphere obtained. This is just absolutely strong. But again, you do lose that 77% boost. You do lose this portion down here if you have a Movie Heroes All Out Struggle. So for this time frame here, that benefit is now kind of it's a nuking support. Strange to say it, yes, it's a nuking support. So, and then plus an additional attack 100% when finishing effect is active. And this is where it gets crazy, because once every charge count you get, if you're at least over 40, as long as you're over 40, so if you're at 41 or more, you want to get this 20% temporary charge per charge count to do super ultimate damage to the enemy. And it's just a crazy amount of damage on here if you're under 41 or 40 or less. But again, you should be fine. You should be over this. Even in a mediocre situation, you should be over 41 even after the first turn. But even if you go into the third turn on there, you need to charge up a little bit more. You should easily get up to that. These are the link skills here, and then you have the categories that stay the same, so nothing changes there. So let's talk about link partners on here. So Again, you do want to make sure you're cognizant about movie heroes and all out struggle as a connector on here. So these are 4 units that are 6 links, 5 links, and then you have 4 links here. But it links very well, right? Because really, generally, any Super Saiyans link up with other Super Saiyans, and that's what you're seeing here. So let's talk about team builds, because I think this is where it's going to be pretty fun here. Like I mentioned before, you are limited on what you have in terms of 200%. So you can see some of the options that you have here, and it's not all that great, but it's still good enough, right? So this is a team that you were bringing with LR Piccolo, and then Future Gohan. Then you have Gogeta, and then I think this guy's gonna make a little comeback here. Having that 77 to get boosted up. And of course, you're running a leader, you can even boost them up even higher. And he's a floater position. You can get up to what, 154, right? That's what they're talking about. But if you don't want to run that, you want to run a support instead. You can run the Gammas here. Of course, they support superheroes, Defenders of Justice, and Joint Forces. And LR GGT is a Joint Forces. The reason why I did move Gohan below here is because then the Gammas don't support Gohan. So, but you can still run them in main position, because if you are having issues with Goku or with GGT having some tanking ability in the beginning, you might want to do that. So until the buffs start happening. Now, when you're looking at out of the 200% restriction, you're using all out struggle Super Saiyans and Power of Wishes. You're probably going to bring Bulma in terms of a support unit. She's still a great support unit. Not really running her main rotation. She is running at 170%. And then you have Evolution Vegeta as 170% option here as well. So I would slot those guys in. In this case, these are just floaters, but you can easily run, the Vegeta in main rotation. And then in this case, you can run the new Exchange Vegeta, Piccolo Vegeta, as another support unit. But he's very good overall as well. Now, the big issue in terms of when you have Bulma on the team here, you have to make sure the main rotation that you're running LRGGT in is going to have a movie heroes or a all-out struggle unit. So in terms of what we're seeing here, you're seeing when Bulma is on rotation, both the Gohan and the Vegeta are all-out struggle units. So the 77% boost and the damage mitigation is activated. Now, when you're looking at another option, you can run LR Piccolo on here. LR Piccolo, interestingly enough, you don't have to have Future Gohan. I was thinking, you have to run Future Gohan because there's not many Bond of Master Disciple units on here. Don't forget Ultimate Gohan. You can see as an ult there, Ultimate Gohan and Tech Ultimate Gohan. They're not Bond of Master Disciple. However, thankfully, this unit is Bond of Master Disciple, so it activates LR Piccolo's passive, right? His entrance animation. So that's very important to have here. And when I was doing this at the 200%, I was like, okay, you do have to run Gohan, but I was like, you actually don't have to. So in this case, you can run other units in the spot of Gohan, and you're fine when in terms of. But you do have to run either Piccolo and Vegeta or Gohan to make sure if you're running Piccolo LROP to activate his entrance animation. So. Then you have this team here is very interesting. This team is a triple support, and it's a very powerful triple support, right? You have the Gammas supporting, again, super bosses, joint forces, and Defenders of Justice. No one's Defenders of Justice, so super bosses, or sorry, superheroes. When I say super bosses, superheroes, and joint forces. And then you have the Exchange Piccolo and Vegeta, and then you have Bulma. Wow. And technically, right, technically LRGGT is a support unit as well. I should have just highlighted him throughout all of this. You have a 5-character support on here supporting LROP and supporting the Evolution Vegeta. Wildly strong. So yeah, this team is kind of really showcasing what possible 200% multi-category 10-year anniversary introduction that might look like. down the road, right? So it's very, very strong unit. So another team that you can run is actually bringing in the Big Bang Vegeta. Now again, if you have Big Bang Vegeta on there, he is not a he is not an all-out struggle or a movie hero. So you got to make sure that the floaters that are around there are going to fall into those particular categories, right? All-out struggle or movie heroes. I'm probably saying bosses too much, so movie bosses on my mind because of Broly. Another way you can do you can run this, but I wouldn't recommend it. But you can have LRGGT as a floater, which would be wild when we get to that point, because now he's also supporting, but he's a support floater versus on main rotation. So you can run something like this. Again, I don't really recommend it, but you can go ahead and do that. So one more thing before I go to teams that are outside of LRGGT as the main leader. Look at how strong the mono team is for this. This like a LRB Gohan. LRB Gohan's STR team is very strong as well. But look at this craziness, right? So yeah, Battlefield, whoever this Battlefield team is going to run against, it's done, right? So, but interestingly enough, you do have some other options as alts. I just didn't put them on here. I just say, hey, you know, it's what it looks like. Technically, this is alt if you want to exchange if you don't have certain units on there. I'm trying to think of what else that I miss on on a physical. Like you can run like the OG Gogeta. You can run physical Bardock on here, which you probably again don't want to run there. Some other units, and if the boys, the physical boys, EZA, then you can run that unit. So there's still some alternates. I just didn't put down on the alts on the physical mono team that you can run. So pretty amazing. So let's go ahead and finish this off with teams that are outside of GGT's leader skill, and that's first and foremost Super Saiyans with Vegeta's family. You're going to run this as a floater because, of course, Vegeta is not a movie heroes all out struggle, so you don't want to have a situation where you're not going to be able to boost it up by that 77%. So, but it does solidify this team quite well if you look at this, right? It's a strong team already, and now you're building it to be even stronger. So, very, very powerful team that's going to upgrade. Another team that upgrades is the Tech UI Goku, because this is an Entrusted Will unit that runs at 170%, and then of course you have Beast Gohan as a movie hero, and then all out struggle for your Vegeta on there. Now Tech UI Goku is neither, so you do have to watch out if they're in a situation where it's running a different unit. So, but again, another floater position. It's like one of the best floaters you can absolutely run. But you can see how strong these other units are in the main rotation. And then finally, Power of Wishes. I was like, well, man, where do I put them? Right? Where do I put them? Am I taking them out of a Beast Gohan Piccolo rotation? Even though, again, most of these units, the biggest issue with this Power of Wishes team with Battle Fate with Spirit Bomb GT here is that most of them are running at 170 due to the fact it's only Final Trump card and Shadow Dragon Saga as the 30% boost. So I was like, okay, do I take out Beast Gohan and LR OP or MUI Goku and Tech UI Goku? And I'm like, okay, we'll actually take out Tech UI Goku, MUI Goku, and then just add the Gammas on there. But it's a tough trade-off, right? It's a tough trade-off. Actually, this does not, right? This actually has Final Trump card, right? Oh no, it doesn't. So anyway, it runs on 170 like everything else. So the reason why you want to run this is because it's going to give more defensive boost to the LR Spirit Bomb GT, right? So that's the only reason, and it's just a different fun team that you can run. So that is an option you can kind of mess around with. But ultimately, yeah, it's boosting up Entrusted Will here and Super Saiyans. But yeah, these teams are so fun. This is it has to be, going into the top 5 of best teams. We'll see where it ends up on the list, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video here, and it went a little bit longer, but a lot to talk about here. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching. Keep on Dokkaning. We'll catch you next time. Later.